Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hashim Ali Khan. So last video I have completed 8 short questions and MCQs. Now in this video I'm continuing the short questions and MCQs on other receivables and payables. Hope my regular viewers have already watched the theory video and also the short questions video, last videos. Then only you can be able to understand these problems. Otherwise, if you join now, you may not be able to understand. So I suggest you to go to the previous video of other receivable, other payable theory and then come to this video. So before starting the problems, further problems, take a printout of the problems which are given in the link under my description. Always keep a hard copy ready at the time of watching the video. Then only you can be able to understand each and every problem. So take a screenshot of the solutions from problem number 9 to problem number 18. Then I'll explain each and every point of the problems. Come on viewers, ninth problem I'm reading out. See carefully. A trader rents a shop. On 1st January 2017, his rent payable account had a credit balance of LKR 6,000. During 2017, he paid LKR 40,000 rent. At 31st December 2017, he owed LKR 4,000 rent. What was the rent payable for the year 2017? Current year 2017. A trader rents a shop. That means he has taken a shop on rent. So every month he has to pay the rent. So beginning of the year 1st January, his rent payable account had a credit balance of LKR 6,000. Credit balance means a rent payable. Rent payable at the beginning of the year was 6,000 and during the year he paid rent 40,000. End of the year rent outstanding, owing rent 4,000. So how much is the rent chargeable as expense in income statement? That is the problem. The answers are given: A. LKR 36,000, B. LKR 38,000, C. LKR 42,000 and last D. LKR 44,000. The answer is B, LKR 38,000. How we got this, I'll explain here. B answer, LKR 38,000 is the answer. Rent paid during 2017 is 40,000 given in the problem. Rent paid during the year 2017 is 40,000. Now rent outstanding at the beginning of the year. Rent outstanding at the beginning of the year is last year's rent. It is not current year's rent. So we will deduct it. That means rent outstanding for the last year 2016 paid during the current year. So that last year rent outstanding will be deducted. So minus rent owing on 1st January 2017. Beginning of the year owing. That means it belongs to last year 2016. Deduct it. Beginning 6,000 deduct. 40 minus 6, 34,000. Now at the end of the current year, there is rent outstanding, owing rent. How much is the outstanding rent at the end of the year? 4,000. 31st December 2017, current year outstanding. It is current year rent only. So it will be added. It will be added. So remember the point. Outstanding rent beginning of the year deduct. Outstanding rent end of the year will be added. So end of the year outstanding rent add, beginning of the year outstanding rent deduct. So ultimately 38,000 is the rent payable for the current year 2017. At the time when I give the lecture, always keep a notebook, pen ready. So whenever I say something important, immediately roughly you write it a note so that it will be helpful for you. These notes are very, very helpful afterwards, before examination. Just if you scrutinize, if you study all these notes, all the points will be in your mind. So in this problem, I explain you rent paid minus rent owing at the beginning of the year, add rent owing at the end of the year. End of the year add, beginning of the year deduct. We'll get the rent payable for the current year 2017. That's it. This is the 9th problem. Now 10th problem. Khalid financial year ends on 30th September. Every year Khalid is closing the account on 30th September. On 1st July 2016, $2,000 was paid for insurance for 6 months ending 31st December 2016. So actually Khalid is closing the accounts on 30th September, but he has paid the insurance for 6 months from 1st July 2016 to 31st December 2016. So how many months are coming in the next year? We are closing the accounts on 30th September. So after September, October, November, December. So 3 months insurance is paid in advance. Because we are closing the accounts on 30th September and the insurance will go up to 31st December. So total 6 month insurance paid, out of 6 months, 3 months are falling in the current year and 3 months are falling in the next year. July, August, September, these 3 months are falling in the current year. October, November, December, these 3 months are falling in the next year. So whatever falls in the next year, that is prepaid. So for 6 months, 2,000. For 3 months, half, 1,000. So total 2,000 insurance paid, 1,000 is charged during the current year and 1,000 will be carried over to the next year. That is prepaid insurance. Prepaid insurance. It will be taken under other receivables in the statement of financial position. Now what will be recorded in Khalid's financial statement of financial position? And how much it should be taken in statement of financial position as a prepayment on 30th September 2016. So answers are given: A, an other receivable of $1,000, B, an other payable of $1,000, C, an other receivable of $2,000, D, an other payable of $2,000. When we pay in advance, it is not payable, it is receivable. So out of 4 options, we remove payable. So B and D are payables. B and D will be removed. So our answer will lie in A and C. A, other receivable of 1,000. C, other receivable of 2,000. No. Out of 2,000, 3 months are falling in the current year and 3 months are falling in the next year. So whatever falls in the next year, that will go in statement of financial position. So 1,000. The correct answer is A, $1,000 as other receivable. So here you can see answer, an other receivable of $1,000. Explanation: insurance paid for 6 months, $2,000 from 1st July 2016 to 31st December 2016. This 6 months. 6 months, 2,000. Accounts closed on 30th September 2016. We are closing the accounts on 30th September. So how many months are falling in the next year? Number of months falling in the next year, 3 months. October, November, December. The prepaid insurance is 2,000 into 3 by 6 comes to 1,000. So 1,000 insurance is prepaid, paid in advance, other receivable. In Khalid's statement of financial position, prepayment of insurance 1,000 will appear as other receivable under current asset. That's it. This is the 10th problem. Now 11th. Zafar runs a transport business and has a fleet of motor vehicles. Which is a liability to Zafar? The owner, the sole trader is Zafar. He is owning a fleet of motor vehicle. What is a liability in the following 4 cases? The first case, depreciation of motor vehicle for the year. Depreciation is an expense. It's a non-cash expense. It is not a liability. It is asking you which is a liability to Zafar. So A is not a liability. Depreciation is not a liability. Second, motor vehicle expenses outstanding. Yes, it is a liability. Motor expenses outstanding, payable, due, owing. That is a liability. The answer is B. C. Motor vehicle insurance paid in advance. When something is paid in advance, it's an asset. It's not a liability. C is not the answer. D. Purchase of fuel for motor vehicles. When fuel is purchased for motor vehicle, it is an expense. It is not a liability. So out of the four, the answer is motor vehicle expenses outstanding. So B is the answer. Motor vehicle expense outstanding. Next, 12th. John's financial year ends on 31st December. Every year accounts closed 31st December. In 2016, he paid 16,500 for advertising in the local newspaper. This is for 15 months to 31st March 2017. John is closing the accounts on 31st December. He paid for advertising 16,500 during the year 2016. But this 16,500 is for 15 months. And these 15 months are ending on 31st March 2017. So how many months are falling in the next year? 3 months. We are closing the accounts on 31st December 2016. But the advertising will end on 31st March 2017. So January, February, March. 3 months advertising is paid in advance. So what will be recorded in John's statement of financial position? In statement of financial position, we take the prepayment. So how many months? 3 months. So 16,500 is for 15 months. But we need for 3 months. So 3 by 15. 16,500 into 3 by 15. You will get 3,300. So 3,300 is the advertising paid in advance. It will come under other receivables. So C answer. And other receivable of $3,300. Just now I told. How you got 3,300? 16,500 into 3 by 15. 3 by 15. That's an asset because it is paid in advance. Now here the explanation of that answer. Accounts closed on 31st December 2016. But advertising 16,500 paid in 2016 for 15 months ending on 31st March 2017. We are closing the accounts on 31st December 2016. So therefore 3 months paid in advance. So 16,500 into 3 by 15, 3,300 is paid in advance. It is other receivable. In John's statement of financial position, 3,300 will be taken as prepayment for advertising under other receivable under current asset. That's all. This is the complete explanation of 12th problem. Now 13th one. Zara's financial year ends on 31st December. Zara is the sole trader. She closes the accounts on 31st December. She rents premises at an annual rent of $5,000. So she has taken on rent premises. And the annual rent for the year is $5,000. 1 year rent, $5,000. And this $5,000 is the rent for the year, should be taken in income statement as expenses. On 1st Jan 2016, prepaid rent 1,000. That means beginning of the year, there was a prepaid rent of 1,000 and as a debit balance on the net rent account. Prepaid rent. During 2016, rent of 8,000 was paid. Current year is 2016. So during 2016, 8,000 rent is already paid. And 1,000 is the prepaid rent at the beginning of the year. So 8,000 rent paid and already 1,000 rent was prepaid. So total 9,000 is the total payment for the current year. But out of 9,000, how much is 1 year rent? 5,000. For 1 year rent is only 5,000. But Zara has paid 8,000 during the year and 1,000 already advance at the beginning of the year. So totally 9,000. Out of 9,000, only 5,000 is for current year. Remaining 4,000, 9,000 minus 5,000 is 4,000. That 4,000 should be carried over to the next year as prepayment. The rent account will show debit balance of $4,000. So here, what was the balance brought down to rent account on 1st January? How much is the balance? So here, A, $1,000 debit, B, $2,000 credit, C, $3,000 credit, D. $4,000 debit. First of all, it is not a credit. Credit means outstanding. The credit balance, rent account credit balance means outstanding rent. Is it outstanding or paid in advance? It is paid in advance. So it's a debit balance. So we rule out the two answers, credit balance. B and C we rule out because credit balance is given. Now our answer will be either A or D. A says 1,000 debit and D says 4,000 debit. The answer is 4,000 debit. How 4,000? During the current year 2016, 8,000 was paid. And beginning of the year, prepaid rent, already paid in advance, 1,000. So totally 9,000 is debited. Out of which the current year's rent only comes to 5,000. So out of 9,000, only 5,000 is for current year. The remaining 4,000 is the paid in advance, debit. The last D answer, 4,000. So here is the question, answer D, 4,000 debit. How we got 4,000 debit? Rent paid during 2016, 8,000. Prepaid rent at the beginning of the year, 1/1/2016 is 1,000. Beginning of the year, already prepaid rent is there, 1,000. So total 9,000 debit balance is showing in rent account. Out of which, how much will be transferred to income statement? Only 5,000. 1 year annual rent is only 5,000. Annual rent for the year 2016 is 5,000. So remaining 4,000 is the prepaid rent at the end of the year, 31st December 2016. So whatever is the closing prepaid rent, that will become the opening prepaid rent for the next year. The next year will begin from 1st January 2017. So 31st December 2016 closing, 1st January 2017 is the opening. So whatever closing balance is there, the same will become opening balance, 4,000. That's it. This is the explanation. Now 14th. 14th is simply explanatory problem, no calculations, nothing. Simply it is asking you under which head in the statement of financial position income owed or outstanding is shown. Income owed means income to be received. Income receivable. Whatever is receivable, it is an asset. Whatever is payable, that is a liability. So here it is asking you income owed or income outstanding means income receivable. So income receivable is other receivable. It will be taken under current asset. So here you can see. Under which head in the statement of financial position income owed or outstanding is shown? Under current asset. Next one. 15th. Under which head in the statement of financial position income paid in advance is shown? Income paid in advance. For example, commission received in advance. So whatever income received in advance, that will be shown as a current liability under other payable. Income received in advance is other payable. It will come under current liability. Next, 16th. Under which head in the statement of financial position expenses paid in advance is shown? Expenses paid in advance. Example, insurance paid in advance. Other receivable. Current asset. It will end expenses paid in advance is a current asset. So here you can see current asset. Expenses paid in advance is a current asset. Next, 17th. Under which head in statement of financial position expenses owed or outstanding is shown? Expenses owed or outstanding, just like salary outstanding, rent owing. So whatever owing, whatever outstanding is payable, and other payable will come under current liability. So expenses owed or expenses outstanding will come under current liability. Next one, 18th. Where should other receivables and other payables appear in the statement of financial position? Very easy question. That's why I told you before watching these problems, you must thoroughly watch the theory video. If you understand the theory, easily you can solve the problem. Here it is asking you where other receivables and other payables will be shown in the statement of financial position. Other receivables will be taken under current assets. Other payables will be taken under current liability. That's it. So totally 18 short questions I have explained in detail. So if you are satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video. Share my channel in your group, in your friend circle, so that more students can watch the video and enhance the knowledge. Get a comment on the subject. Do subscribe my channel. And lastly, give your comments on these videos, whether you can be able to understand or not. Inshallah, the next problem will continue in the next video.